Hey guys, Mark here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to repair the foam on a 12-inch W6 V2. And I'm going to show you guys the items that you're going to need. So items you're going to need are going to be the adhesive that comes with the replacement foam. This is the replacement foam. You can buy it on eBay. You're going to need yourself just a regular blade or an X-Acto knife. I like to use the blade. A flathead screwdriver, some alcohol, and a microfiber towel. You'd want to get a microfiber towel only because it helps with the rubbing off. Just helps so much better. I mean, you can use just a regular old towel as well, or whatever rag you have lying around. But in my opinion, this rubs off just the best. So this is the subwoofer that we have here. I've already started removing some of the old adhesive. It dries up pretty clumpy, and I'll show you guys how to take that off. And I've already done one. I've already finished one. This is the finished product. So it's a twin. So yeah, let's hop right into it. So I've already started taking off the adhesive, dried up adhesive, and I'll show you guys what I'm taking off when I'm doing this. Taking off this thin layer of adhesive here, and you want to get, I'm almost going down to the bare metal of the basket for the subwoofer, but I just want everything to be just flush, just the way it came from J Audio. That's the best way I know how to do it. I take my time with this. I might be a little faster than you guys at first, but if you watch this video, just pause and watch. You guys will know. This is just what I do. You may want to do it a little differently, but if you want the best results, in my opinion, just get off all of the excess adhesive. Just so you can just get a ultra flush mounting surface when you put the new foam on. Okay, so go all around here. Oops. All around here. There's even adhesive that goes in between here. See that? Just gets removed. Because this foam, it's supposed to line up right against the edge, and you don't want any play. So I want to take off all the excess glue and old foam that's there. I'm taking off just strings like this. We're just moving strings. Like that. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while now. My favorite brand, car audio brand, is J Audio, because they're American made, and I love anything made in America. Just gives that extra just gives me that feel of just quality. These things are, I mean, this sub here is probably, who knows, like 12, 13 years old, and I'm gonna replace a sub, and if paired correctly with a matching amp, it can last you another 12, 13 years. JL Audio hasn't really changed their design from those 12, 13 years. Along with same with the W7 10 through 13 W7 or 8 through 13 W7. That kind of tells you just how well they're made, and they hold up the testament of time. These subs here, I'm doing them for my buddy Charles, who works at a car audio shop, and he's honestly my #1 customer. He always brings me customers, subwoofers, specifically JL Audio subs to fix, because you ship these out to JL and they'll charge you probably about $300-400 to fix. And as far as I know, I've seen some others post that they fix subs, but as far as I know, around my area, I'm the only one that does it. And so I've replaced dozens of these things. So I kind of know the ins and outs. What's cool about these is that you can find them sometimes on OfferUp or even eBay if you want to pay like a shipping fee for really cheap if the foam is all jacked up. And every time I see that, I think, you know what? With a little bit of money, $30-40 and some time, I'll have myself a $300 sub. Okay, so looks like I've pretty much finished with the outer rim here. Let's go ahead and grab a chair. Let's pull up here and I'll show you guys here the adhesive that's here. So with this blade, I don't want to risk accidentally scratching the cone here, but so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna slowly run it along the edge. You see here, just that old foam along with some adhesive keeps coming up. So you do that nicely all around. So what you want to do is when I do this, I put some pressure on whatever side I'm working on, because I don't want to, because the cone is right here. I don't want to somehow mess it up or ding it up. So I put some pressure here with my left hand and I go along. See what I'm picking up there? So just keep coming along here. And yeah. These subs, they can be, the reason why the foam gets all messed up over time is because a lot of people, they take them out of their cars and they store them in some garages, and the foam just deteriorates over time. And a lot of people, that's how I've picked up a lot of the subs that the JL Audio W6s that I've bought over the years, that people take them out and the foam starts deteriorating, and they're like, hey, I see how much it is to fix it. I'll just go ahead and sell them for cheap. Oh, perfect. I'll buy them, fix them up, sell them for a nice little profit. Yeah, okay, so this is, go ahead and start off. So what I do is I just get my finger here and I just start off rubbing off this adhesive here. You see here, the adhesive is already coming off, just to start it. And then sometimes if it's a little newer, the adhesive, it'll come off all, but very rarely that happens. So what I'm gonna do is get my microfiber towel. I'm gonna get some rubbing alcohol, and what I'm gonna do is get some of this and just rub it all around, and we're gonna clean up all the blackness that's on there. Clean up all the blackness. It'll just help with time and with the time of cleaning the speaker itself. We're gonna go here, just flip the towel around. We're just cleaning. We're not taking off the adhesive just yet. We're just cleaning up because we don't want to have to keep cleaning up the towel, switching surfaces. So just go around it about twice. Just re-wet it a little bit. Re-wet it. Come around. The key with these subs is take your time. These are very delicate subwoofers, but at the very same time, they're almost bulletproof. I've seen these things dropped from waist down and still work fine. I've seen them get pushed with too much power and they start stinking up, but the power is adjusted and they're played at a right amperage, or what would that be? Just not pushed to the limit, and then they'll work just fine. They can handle a lot of abuse, but at the same time, you guys need to just take your time. So just when you're doing these, I've seen guys just grab these, put the foam on there, and glue it all up, and it's all gunky, all nasty. I mean, look at the work that I do here. I take pride in my work, and part of pride is time, is some time. So like I said, I take some time out of my day and just plan for doing one of these or a couple of these a day. Okay, so see what I'm doing here is I'm just rubbing up here, just rubbing it up, just starting off the removal process of the adhesive. Just, you want to get the dry surface, not the wet surface. I mean, you can get the wet surface, but we're going to use that for the end. So the dry surface helps grip it, helps grip to the adhesive. It's almost like you're doing removing it with your finger, like removing it with your finger like that. So yeah, you can tell that this one is it's a little bit wet because of the alcohol. Okay. Again, like I said, it's just a little bit time consuming. Yeah. I enjoy it. It just kind of slows everything down for me. Lets me work on my craft. And yeah. Like I said, I fixed dozens of these. Close to 50, I would say. 50, even 60 in that ballpark. Some including my own, some of my relatives. Their phones messed up on them, and yeah. And they always bring them to me because they're like, "Hey, Mark," because everybody else tries it, and they all try it, and they think, oh, like you see what I'm doing here? This is just the first step of removing whatever adhesive is in here, because inside here, there's some adhesive that you don't see when you place the foam. It'll just be just a minute crack because of that adhesive. So I'll show you guys how to get it up in there. And yeah. I've always wanted to recone one of these. I fixed the sub for this guy, and I put the foam on there, and it was scratching like crazy. Scratching. And I told him, I said, hey, this sub is blown. And on top of that, I smell the coil, and it even smells burnt. So you got a blown sub. And he's like, okay, how much is it to recone? I'm like, I've never done it before in my life, but if you like, you can get all the parts and pieces, and I can do all my research and fix it up for you with no charge. Just buy all the parts and I'll fix it. And he's like, yeah, never went through. He never even picked up his sub. Before. I tried calling him, never came picked it up, and I'm like, okay. I think it's still sitting in the garage somewhere. One day he might call me like, hey, you still have that sub? I'm like, yeah, I still got it. Just taking up space in my garage. Eventually when I move, I'm gonna have to sell it. Or give it away. Sorry, I feel like I just keep going off on tangents or talking about just random stuff. I see a little bit of the adhesive over here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. I just want it to be as perfect as possible before I even continue. Okay. So this part, I'm gonna grab some alcohol and I'm gonna go ahead and rub off as much as I can with my fingernail. Sorry, my fingernail's all dirty, but you see already it's already taken off some of the black adhesive or the foam that's in there. Just get in there with your fingernail, you're getting in that crevice right there. That crevice, right there, you got it, right in there. You want to get into that crevice with your fingernail. All of these things are stuff that I've learned over the years, just taking up space. When you install it, it looks a little off, like there's like some residue or something, but no, I cleaned it off. No, you didn't. I didn't clean all of it. Gotta get up in there, just start removing. You see how it's starting to get a little lighter? Smooth now. I'm taking off some of that adhesive still. I really am playing some music in the background, but I want you guys to be able to hear me in case I have something to say. Play some background music in a bit. Okay, looking all nice and clean now. All nice and clean. Just getting it, holding it in there, holding it like that, and just getting a nice and cool like that. Okay, and the final step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab this, put it inside here on the flat side, and then I'm just gonna go in very lightly just to make sure that no adhesive is stuck in that crevice right there. Just a little tad bit right there. Nothing crazy. There you go. Got a little bit out of there. Right there. Sorry, my finger's getting in the way. Apologize. I apologize. Okay. The residue that's left over from that. And then from here, I'll go ahead and wipe off the cone here. You want to use 70% isopropyl alcohol. 70% only, that's like the max. And you just give it a good wipe. It'll dry itself. See, it already looks almost new. I'm gonna blow out all the excess debris here. Okay, now comes the fun part. What you want to do is grab your replacement foam, and before you do anything, before you put it on, before you glue anything, you want to do like a quick little dry run of how it's going to go on, what it's going to look like. So grab the flathead screwdriver and just get it in there, all the crevices, and just let it sit in there. Just let it chill there for a sec. And man, that looks pretty good, pretty flush, pretty clean. And I actually had the same problem with, the replacement foam that they send me. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, and these are things that you may run into. These are problems you may run into, but normally the replacement foam goes flush up against there, and you don't have anything to worry about with the cone rubbing up on it. So yeah, that's kind of annoying, but still, we can go ahead and use it. I'll show you guys what to do. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this foam onto the cone, middle cone area here, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to align it in case it's not flush, and you don't want to be able to hear it rubbing like a little like how do I say, like little sandpaper. I'll show you guys how to do that right there. But like I said, I ran into the same issue with this one, but we went ahead and troubleshooted it, and there's no rubbing on it whatsoever, so I'm confident that we'll be able to do the same with this. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our glue here, and the key with the glue, putting on the glue, is very important. So you want to get here. Sometimes these things come with some brushes. In my experience, the brush just kind of gets in the way and just makes more of a mess. So let's go ahead and so what you want to do is just put a bead all across. You want to put a bead and kind of rub it on there, like, how do I say, like, just put a thin layer, very thin, very thin. This glue, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. You very little. So see what I'm doing is I'm putting it on, and then I'm kind of not squeezing right now, kind of laying it out, kind of flattening it out. Just put a bead of adhesive. If you put too much on one end, how I just did right there, you just get the tip of this, and just with that, just spread it around. This is, in many people's opinion, this is the hardest part, but if you don't use too much adhesive, it won't be the hardest part. It will be the easiest. Put that bead there and just kind of spread it around, almost to the end here. What I want to do here is just kind of look around and see if there's any spots that you may have missed. But looking at this, it looks pretty good. What you also want to consider is when you put the foam in, this is going to kind of like splat out, like spread itself out also. So what we're going to do is just wait here a few seconds, about 10 seconds, to just let it dry up a little bit, because this is like a contact cement. You want to make sure you just cap the glue. Then bring the foam, just put it there. Don't worry about the edges not being aligned right now. We'll worry about that later. And what you want to do is push up with your finger. My hands are here. Push up with the finger on the cone, and with your flathead screwdriver, just gently press down on the foam. Just gently, you don't have to put a whole lot of pressure, just be soft with it, okay. It all seems pretty in there, pretty good. Come around here with the flathead and just spread it out. Just tap lightly all around the inside of the foam. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, just get it up in there. And sometimes if let's say there was a gap in here, what you would do with this is, right now, this is the time to get your flathead and kind of push it up. It's still workable. The glue is still workable. There's no gap here, but just an example, if you were to run into that issue, at this point it's still workable, and you're still able to kind of move it around and get it going. Let's say the glue dried up a bit and you had a gap here. What you do is you get a like a hair dryer or heat gun and heat it up just a tad, and then just do what I told you. Just push here and then push against, grab here and then push against, grab here and push against. The glue, this glue is pretty forgiving. It's pretty forgiving. It allows you to move it around for a little bit, even when it's dry. It doesn't fully dry for about 24 to 48 hours. I every time I hand this over to Charles or somebody else who I'm fixing this for, I tell them, hey, I just fixed it today. Don't play it for another like 2 days or day, at least a day. But even then, don't push it hard for like a full day, because just giving that glue the full amount of cure time is the best for it. See what I'm doing here? I'm just making sure I'm going like this all around, just go like this, and then on the second pass I'll do it the other way, just to kind of make sure that everything is on there just fine. This is just fine. And there's a little bit of glue that came up top. I just rubbed it off with my hand, but let's say you were to put a lot too much glue here and it's seeped out. Okay, one thing you don't want to do, if let's say you were to do that, don't take it off. Like, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. just what you're gonna do is get your microfiber towel right away, and that is when you guys need your heat gun. And if you run into an issue like that, so you see right here, it just has like a little bit of adhesive right here, and I'm literally just gonna rub it off with my finger, just like that. So getting back to that, so if you were to have a bunch of glue seeping up to the front of the cone here, you would get your hair dryer or heat gun, and what you would do is heat it up just a little bit, just heat it up. And one thing you don't want to do is let the hair dryer or the heat gun stay in one spot for too long. You just want to constantly move it around. And what that'll do is it'll just kind of loosen it up, and when you do that, the excess adhesive, just get some of your alcohol here and put it on your towel and just wipe it. Wipe it all along, just wipe it all off, and I promise you it'll come off. But one thing for sure you don't want to do is take it off, because then you start creating problems, and then you will have to start over. But yeah, so don't do that. And one other big thing is if you're using a blow dryer to fix it, is also don't let it in one spot too long. Ask me how I know. Yeah, so that sucked that day. That was like way in the beginning when I first started. But yeah, so don't leave it in one spot too long. If the adhesive comes all up around too much, do what I said, just get a hair dryer or a heat gun, and see how this is just kind of coming around here, but it's still workable, still allowing me to move it around a little bit, not a whole lot, just enough. We don't need to move it around a whole lot. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's let this sit here for a little bit. Let's go ahead and clean up our area. While we're at it, because a dirty area is a bad area. Or a dirty area is just, it doesn't make things easier for you. Just, you feel dirty. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I just feel like I just need to keep my area clean right after. Once I go to the other end part. This is what the subs came in. Clean up. Clean up here. And then what I want to do is just let it dry a little bit. Just put some pressure up here with your finger, and just keep going all around. Take your time with it. Okay, so I know some videos they say wait certain amount of minutes for the center of this glued part dry. I think the most I've waited personally was about an hour, but normally what I'd wait would be like 15-20 minutes. But in this case, I already kind of know how these things go. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys, just jump right into gluing this around here. And remember how I told you guys that the end here is not aligned. The end here is not aligned perfectly. I'm gonna show you guys how to fix that. So, or what to do if you run into that issue. Because I press down right here and it's good. Like the sub is not rubbing down, not rubbing around. So that actually makes me pretty happy. I'll just put a bead of adhesive right here, and with this one, just let it sit there, and yeah. So let's see here. It's already been like, what, like 5 minutes since I glued it, maybe a little less. Let's go ahead and lift it up. So you want to lift up from the bottom and just create a bead of adhesive right here, all along. And this one here, in my opinion, doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be pretty, because what these subs have are a ring that goes around, and so if the adhesive comes out, that ring will cover that up. But that I'm also saying is sometimes people don't have those rings. So what I do is I put just enough, not a whole lot, just enough to splat when I set it back down. Okay. Okay, come on. Just keep it elevated with your left hand. Set down your glue. Just keep it up, almost there. That's my dog. She needs to go to the restroom. Okay, so just give it a quick look. Make sure that adhesive is all around. And go ahead and set it down. Set it down. I'm gonna set that thing down. No rubbing's taking place. Some of this adhesive is kind of seeping out, but no problem. Like I said, just kind of go in here like that with your flathead. With your flathead, just keep it a little clean. Still pretty clean. Yeah, no rubbing in the center cone. Everything looks pretty good. What I'll also do is come around the edge with the flathead and just press down. Let's give it a little press, little press, little press, little press, little press. Come on. What you could do is just set something on top to let it completely dry. But normally when that glue is already stuck to that, it's not going anywhere. And yeah, that's the finished product right there, guys. Just make sure to clean up your area. This is that's the one that we just finished working on, and this is that second one that we finished just not too long before that one. Alrighty, guys, go ahead and clean up here, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Any questions or comments, just let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer it all for you. Alrighty, take care, guys.